Welcome to another episode of Behind the Song, and today I'm going to talk to you about my new single, One Way Ticket, which is one of my favourite songs that I've ever written and recorded, and I'm not just saying that because it's the one I'm trying to promote right now. So One Way Ticket was written differently to a lot of my recent singles, and actually most of my catalogue, in the sense that usually I have a lyrical and melodic idea that I put together, and then I would normally go to a guitarist and we would put an acoustic guitar line down so that we have some sort of structure to the song and we know exactly how we're going to present it to the producer. So this time around, myself and Gareth Shortland, my producer, were going back and forth with song ideas, mostly lyrics and melodies that I had already completed for quite some time. But we were finding that the songs just weren't the right fit when we put them beside other singles from this era like Been and Gone and Save You. And so we were going through the songs and we basically felt like we couldn't find the right track until Gareth then presented to me a primitive version of this song. It was just an instrumental, no melody and no lyric, but it was a stunning instrumental, and it wasn't too unlike the finished version, except for a few extra bells and whistles that Gareth added afterwards. But I just knew the second I heard this instrumental that it had to be my song, and it just felt like there were so many elements and so many influences to this track that really mirrored mine, especially growing up listening to the likes of Pet Shop Boys and then ABBA and Steps, and I think there's a little bit of Bronski beat in there as well. So I think it's an unusual fusion of 70s, 80s, 90s, and I think part of that, a lot of that comes from the fact that Gareth has worked with Erasure, which is obviously 80s, even though he worked with them quite recently, and Steps, which are primarily 90s, even though they are active today as well. So I think that's that sort of niche that the track fits into. And it's not a crazy jump away from what I had just done previously with Been and Gone, which was very Scandi pop as well, and obviously with The Last Time, which was a cover of the Agneta track. So for me it just felt like a perfect match, and so I had to force myself to go into songwriter mode because I wasn't working in music at this particular time. It was back in March, April during my mini hiatus, and so I got on a bus and I found in my iPhone's notes a two lines that I had jotted down in my iPhone in the gym one day several months before, and it was a line from the first verse, "'cause you know that you're at a time, is this what you want for your life?" And I thought I need to write a song that is kind of about the clock ticking and about the clock that we hear in our minds, that makes us question, am I where I need to be? And I think we all have that. And I had just also watched the assassination of Gianni Versace, and I had heard a lot of songs that had that sort of unhinged quality to them, particularly Gloria by Laura Branigan, and I liked the idea that it was kind of a runaway song in some ways, and I wanted a little piece of that for me, and I felt the lyric had to mirror the kind of franticness of the instrumental itself. So it came very fast. I wrote the chorus on one bus journey, and then I think one verse, and then I wrote the second verse on the way home that night, and the bridge. And for me the challenge was I have to write this song in this period, in this one day period, because for me a lot of the time if I let stuff go, then it goes on the pile of unfinished lyrics and maybe will never be completed. And in order for me to make sure that I got this song, because the backing track was already made, I had to present Gareth with something that was impressive, and I hope that I did, and I think that I did, and it was a quick turnaround. So I've discovered through doing this that top lining is something I really enjoy, and just writing these melodies for pre-existing backing tracks and lyrics as well. I think because there was such a strong sonic direction to it, I was able to tap into, okay, this is the vibe of this song and this is what it needs. But yeah, I think it's overall one of my absolute favorite singles so far, and it definitely sticks out to me in the sense that it reminds me of what I grew up listening to, and I would listen to these all the now pop and now dance compilation CDs, and even before that tapes in the 90s, and this feels like it could fit on any number of those, so I'm really happy with the outcome, and I hope that you guys love listening to it as much as I loved making it.